Hey, you guys! Isn't that what they used to say on Sesame Street years ago when they started the children's program? Hey, you guys! I thought that was pretty cute. Well, folks, it's me, Rusty78609 in Central Texas, USA. It is 9:43 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is August the 13th, 2016, and it's 80 degrees, folks. It's 15 degrees cooler this morning than it was yesterday at the same time. Why is that? It's because we had a little cool front, or what we call a norther, come through here in Central Texas, USA, and it is quite comfortable for a change. And actually, for the next 10 days, we don't get above the mid 90s, which is about almost 10 degrees cooler than it has been. So, I'm just cruising around, and I got a car that looks like it. Actually, the car behind me is so close that we look like one car, but just 2 times as long. I don't know why people do that, like they're going to push you. I'm on this is Park Road 4. I'm going to drive by Inks Lake State Park. And the speed limit on this road is like 40, and I'm going 38. And you'd think I was parked. This guy behind me is, if I touched my brakes, he'd be in the back seat. I say he, I don't know what it is. It could be a she, or it could be a whatever they call them now. So today is Saturday. It is a nice day in Texas, in Central Texas. I'm tickled to death with this weather, finally. And what else is going on? Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you. I've been thinking about the fact that I now have garbage service. All right? I am one of those elites, the 1%ers that has garbage pickup. Now the question is how should I respond to those that don't have garbage pickup, the other percenters? Should I discriminate against them by sticking my nose up in the air? Or should I treat them like peons? Or simply ignore them and call them they? Or, as my aristocratic friends say, those kind of people. Those kind of people. Oh. So, what I will do, I will let Matilda make the decision. Matilda's the name of my trash can. Oh, excuse me. Garbage can. And, anyway, what else is going on besides the garbage story? Not a whole lot. I'm just, I thought about going back and doing some more of those wine and beer tasting events. I even called the guy, his name's Jason, same as my oldest boys, and chatted with him. I said, Jason, I might do some of these. And he said, well, he'd see if he could come up with some in Marble Falls. Well, what he's thinking is like 12 a month or 10. I don't want to do 10 a month. So I just told him up. It's all contract. It's not like you're an employee. But what happens is if you turn down enough offers, then they just write you off. So anyway, I just was up front and said, look, I'll do 3 a month. And that's it. So we'll see. May go back to doing the wine and beer. We'll see. And had a lot of comments. Thank y'all for those comments. And I was going to mention too, it occurred to me, I get several comments. I get probably 20 comments a day And in that range, it varies anywhere from 15 to 30, but average around 20, which is okay. That's fine. It doesn't take but a few minutes to respond. But some of them, see, what happens on YouTube is you get a lot of people that spam the different YouTube channels with quote comments, and they do it for a variety of reasons. One is to get their name on your YouTube channel or their stuff on your YouTube channel. It's all about a scam, or spam. So YouTube also has filters that filter out a lot, and I have to go into this separate folder because it'll say these comments are being held for review, and then I go to that folder and look at those comments, and if it's somebody I recognize the name of, then I check mark it so that it okays it to go as a posted comment with that video. And but anyway, should it ever happen that you post what you consider a valid or interesting comment and I fail to respond, it's not that I'm ignoring you or that I forgot or I'm getting lazy. It's possible that YouTube just completely blocked it and it didn't even get into the review folder, because they do that. If their algorithms determine that it's a 99% chance it's spam, then it's gone. Because they have a lot of it. It takes up space in their system, so they clean it out every second. So, anyway, that takes care of the comments. I get some that actually, most of them are clear and understandable, and I'm able to respond very easily, and you people know who you are. But I get some from, I don't know if it's out of Mexico or some other countries, that, the sentence structure, for example, in Mexico is backwards. The subject is at the end and so forth. And other countries have that same structure. Some countries read right to left instead of left to right. And so when they try to put their comment in English, sometimes the sentence structure is what I would call a disaster. So, I try. That's all I can do. I'll just tell you straight out. I'll do the best I can, and that's it. So that's the end of the comment thing. And I guess I'll try not to discriminate too much against those that do not have garbage pickup. You remember Dr. Seuss? Some of you may. Well, I read all of Dr. Seuss's books when I was much older, when I was in my 40s, because I found Dr. Seuss extremely interesting to read, because there was something for the parents and something for the children too. And there was one that I thought was cute. It was called The Sneetches on the Beaches. Y'all may remember it. The Sneetches on the Beaches. Well, the Sneetches on the Beaches, some of them had stars and some of them were starless, okay? And the ones that had the stars on their chest would not mingle with those that were, quote, starless. And so anyway, there was a guy, an entrepreneur, and named Goldstein, I'm sure, that came up with a star-owned machine. And what this machine would do is it would take the starless Sneetches on the beaches and put a star on their chest. In other words, they would march up to this machine in a long line, and when they came out the other end of it, they'd have a star. So what happened is the starred Sneetches couldn't tell the real starred Sneetches from the Sneetches that were starred by the machine, and it got to be a real problem. Anyway, it's a good story. Read it. Sneetches on the Beaches. It's good. It's got but you can see where that one was headed. And also, the one of his most famous ones was green eggs and ham. Aren't y'all loving this shit? Ah, green eggs and ham. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, if you want to, I guess you can watch his videos on YouTube. Probably I'll have to check on that because they are extremely interesting. I mean, the guy was a genius, no doubt. And what else? Well, we covered it today, aren't we? Anyway, we're just cruising. If you ain't cruising, you're losing, right? So, what else is happening? Did I ever tell you the story? I'm sure I told you this one. Well, it doesn't matter. If I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. It doesn't matter. I'll tell it again anyway. The first time that I ever saw a dead human being, first time, I'll tell it to you. Again, I lived on a farm in South Texas. We had hired help every now and then, but we had one guy, a Mexican guy, that lived on the farm in a little Quonset hut named Andreas. And I'm sure I've told a lot of stories about Andreas. Bear with me. But anyway, I think I was around 10, I'm going to guess, in that range. Because I didn't have my motor scooter yet, so it must have been 10, I guess. But every morning, I'd go to the back door, or somebody, one of the kids would say, Andreas, your breakfast is ready. And then a few minutes later, he'd come in and sit down at the dining room table right where we ate. And Mother would have a separate meal for him. And she always made him some coffee. Nobody in our family drank coffee, but she made it for him. And anyway, one day I went to the back to call Andreas for his meal, breakfast, I think it was. I said, Andreas, your breakfast is ready. You know, went back and I finished my breakfast, getting ready to go to school, I guess. And anyway, he didn't show up. Mother said, Rusty, go out there and wake up Andreas and tell him his breakfast is ready. I said, okay, I will. So anyway, I went out there and he never had a lock on it. I'm not even sure. Yeah, he did. He had a door, but it was always open in the summer. Anyway, his door was open. He slept on a little cot, a little army cot. And anyway, I saw him laying there, and I said, Andreas, your breakfast's ready. Well, he didn't wake up. I thought, well, hell, maybe he got drunk or something. And so anyway, I went over there to shake him. It wasn't no sense shaking Andreas. He was dead. He was, I mean, I've seen enough dead animals to know that this man was dead. So anyway, I went back in the house, told Mother, I said, Mother, I think Andreas is dead. She said, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. He's dead. So anyway, we both went out there then, and Daddy was out in the field somewhere doing something, and she verified what I thought, he was dead. Then we went and got Daddy, and he came, and anyway, he didn't have any. He had some relatives in Mexico, but you know, I didn't know how to react to that. I really didn't. I mean, I was sad, but it was more like I was in shock. You know what I mean? I didn't understand. I didn't think that humans could die. It never occurred to me that a human could die like a cow or a goat or a chicken or a dog. It never occurred to me. And I remember pondering that for a long time, that humans could die. Damn, what a shock. But anyway, having said all of that interesting stuff, this is another one of my viral videos. And probably millions and millions of people across the world will be discussing this video in the next hour or two, or as soon as I get it uploaded and all that stuff. But y'all have a good day. It's still 80 degrees, believe it or not, at 9:58 a.m. Saturday, August the 13th. And this is Rusty. My channel is Rusty78609 for those of you that stumbled into this mess. and forgot to punch the stop button or whatever. So, thumbs up. Carpe diem, adios. Bye bye.